So before we start, if we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now I'm going to ask Yvette to lead us in the invocation. If you could remain standing, please.
Good morning, everyone. Please join me in prayer. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us together today in service to our region and its people. As we mark the close of another fiscal year, we pause in gratitude for the progress made, the partnerships strengthened, and the challenges met with resilience and resolve. We're thankful for the dedication of each elected official, board member, staff member, and community partner who contributed to our shared mission. As we step into a new fiscal year, we ask for your continued guidance. May this new year be filled with fresh opportunities, renewed energy, and commitment to service. Grant us wisdom in our decisions, unity in our purpose, and compassion in our leadership. Let our work as the Rio Grande Council of Governments reflect the values of equity, collaboration, and stewardship. Bless everyone here and those who couldn't be with us today. This annual meeting, the conversations we hold, and the outcomes we pursue. May they serve the greater good and honor the diverse communities of the Rio Grande region. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Yvette. And now I'd like to welcome our fabulous Executive Director, Annette Gutierrez.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Just like Commissioner Olguin said, thank you so much for joining us here today. I know you all have very busy schedules, and we appreciate you taking time to be with us. This is going to be at this moment, we're going to recap some fiscal year 25 highlights of the organization. There's a lot of work that we've done this past year that we're really proud of, and so we would like for you all to be aware of that. But before I do, if I can just take one moment to mention that I know that many of you here, we're all leaders in one way or another. And as a leader, I think one of the characteristics is that you take on new challenges and you're willing to take on the unknown. But as you take on a challenge, it's important for you to be able to have people around you who support your effort to take on those challenges, because if you do it alone, you may not be as successful. And so, although she can't hear me because she's in the back, she's waiting for our other guests to arrive. I wanted to acknowledge Julissa Cisneros. She's our administrative assistant, and I have taken on several new challenges this year, which has spread me thin to a certain degree, but I know that I am supported here at the Council of Governments because of the work that Julissa has done for our organization. This meeting that we're having together was put together by her pretty much on her own. She welcomed the challenge, she took it on, and I think she's done a fabulous job. So although she can't hear me, I hope she knows that from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate her. So we'll go ahead and get into our fiscal year 25 highlights. And the first item that I would like to discuss with you all is going to be local governments. And so under local governments, that is a subdivision of administration. And what we are going to talk about today with you all are these items here. So under water planning, that effort has been led by Peggy O'Brien, our local governments manager. We are nearing the completion of our 5-year regional water plan, and so we are going to be looking at approving that plan on October 9th, very soon. And so once that plan gets approved, it will get moved up to the Water Development Board, which will be rolled into their state plan. So it's a huge effort. We are all anticipating the Texas voters' approval on the new funding that should be available for water infrastructure. So we are positioning ourselves to be ready for that funding and see how it is that we can be of service to our member governments to ensure that you all are ready to apply for that. Additionally, we do have the broadband. And so again, Peggy O'Brien, what she has been able to do with this program, all of our 6 counties have been recipients of the Texas Assistance Fund from the Broadband Office under the comptrollers. El Paso County is the last county that is under the technical assistance effort. We're waiting on the final write-ups for those documents, and so we're eager to hear what the response is going to be or what the final outcome is in terms of what next steps should be for our communities. And also, we were fortunate enough to receive additional funding through technical assistance from the Rural LISC program. And so that allowed us to do mapping efforts for broadband for all 7 of our counties, including Doña Ana. Next, we talk about transit. Although the Council of Governments is not, we're not directly involved in transit, we've been serving as the fiscal agent for the El Paso Transportation Authority. It's been a great initiative for us to be involved with. I'm really excited for us to be able to impart some experience that we've been able to undertake, some wisdom that we've gained in terms of how you provide transit for your communities, because we definitely would love to see for this to be available countywide within our region. And so the ETA is now under the helm of John Ando, who's their first newly minted executive director, who comes with a wealth of experience. And so we definitely want to be able to continue that path, even though at some point the Council of Governments will phase out and ETA will be a standalone organization. We've learned a great deal from that. Next, we have flood planning. Flood planning is just starting up again. We're looking at our second iteration of our flood plan. With the flooding that occurred in this past summer in July in Central Texas and other parts, our members of the flood planning group thought it was important for us to get together and have a symposium and just talk about flood issues, how we're going to mitigate those issues, those situations. And so Aaron Burziaga, our local governments coordinator, was able to coordinate and facilitate the flood symposium that happened just recently. And so it was a great effort. We had about 30 folks in attendance at the El Paso Water Tech H2O Center. And so we're looking to see how we can be of service of that with that initiative as well. Next, we have the Veterans Memorial Park. And so with the Veterans Memorial Park, we are serving as the grant administrator for the Fabens Water District. And the Water District actually owns a park, and under the ARPA monies that were available for tourism, they applied to Economic Development Administration, which allowed them to receive funding to install a memorial at their park. And so it's been slow going, right, Commissioner? But we're finally there. We had a groundbreaking ceremony, and so we're really excited about what that is going to be. And we will definitely invite all of you to attend the ceremony when it's newly constructed. We're anticipating that to be in January. Next, we have our SECO program. That's the State Energy Conservation Office. We've been working with the PACE Authority, and the PACE Authority is a nonprofit that works on energy cost-saving measures for public and private entities. They also have loan products available, so that way one can go in and rehab their entire building and see the costs substantially lower because of those energy efficient models that are being used. And so we've been able to assist in that. And so we're wrapping up that program. We wrapped it up in August, but we're able to see some really great successes from that. Okay, and then next we have the Workforce Solution Borderplex. Moving into FY26, we will no longer have a formal partnership with Workforce Solutions Borderplex due to funding constraints. However, we're very proud of the work that has been done over the years with this initiative. We have been working in various capacities for workforce, but I think what we're most proud of is that in the city of Presidio, we have been assisting in getting families ready to serve as daycare providers in the home. And so you may not think that that's a huge effort, but it is a huge lift. And so it's taken us a substantial amount of months. Peggy can attest to that. But we're happy to say that we have one provider in Presidio right now who's serving as a daycare provider at her home. And so we know that there's going to be several more that are on the line, that are in line to be recognized as well. So we're really proud of that accomplishment that has been made. Next, we have the CEDS program, and we'll talk a little bit more about CEDS, but that's the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy. We are getting to the culmination of the CEDS initiative, at least within El Paso County. We have about a month or two in our rural counties, but we have been really successful in gathering individuals together for collaboration efforts in terms of how we want to look at economic development on a regional level. If we go to the next slide, we'll go into the Area Agency on Aging. And so Area Agency on Aging, as you all can see here on the screen, the whole premise behind our division is that we want to provide more opportunities for older adults to continue their independence and to live at home. And how can we be of assistance to make that happen? So if you go to the next slide, you can see here that this is our Aging to Perfection Expo. This is the culmination of the Area Agency on Aging. Throughout the fiscal year, what we do is we identify ways on how we can provide additional referrals to our clients. We look at providing services for them, whether that be through respite, through medication, through home repair, things of that nature. But the one that's the greatest one, that's the biggest cost to us, is we actually provide meals as well. We pay for those meals for congregate or home delivered meals. And so we've been working the whole year throughout that effort to make that happen. And so when we have this area, this Aging to Perfection, this is the culmination of all of our work within the division. And so we had this on August the 20th. We had, as you can see, over 86 exhibitors who were part of this program. And we had at the convention center, we had about 1,600 in attendance. And so this is an opportunity for older adults or caregivers of older adults to have a better understanding of what it is that you can do to age in your home independently. And so we had, as you can see, just a variety of companies and as well as nonprofits and local governments there to assist the community to let them know what their needs are. We also had some breakout sessions where we heard from the FBI in terms of scams, which is obviously prevalent in any walk of life, but definitely the vulnerable population of older adults. And then we also heard from the geriatric unit of UMC as well. And so that had about 150 folks that attended that as well. So we're very proud of this expo. We put it on every year, and I think Yvette's goal is to make it bigger and better. And so she will probably start working on it next month now. So proud of those efforts for AAA. On the next slide, you can see here, this is the senior fund. I think this is going to be the most monumental change for our division that we are anticipating. El Paso Times, previously through their foundation, would raise funds through their Thanksgiving week, where they would feature clients that were in need. And so those are the clients that we were taking care of within the Area Agency on Aging. And so it was a great fundraising effort for us. We were the ones who provided those clients, and so we were able to tap into additional dollars outside of the state funding source. Unfortunately, with the times and things going as they are with the media, the foundation did close, but there's still some funds within that program. So that money got moved over to United Way of El Paso County. And so we were fortunate enough to have them continue this engagement. And so we were working in that same manner where we had clients that we would provide to the United Way for consideration to allow for this additional funding. And so that was a great initiative. It's worked out well. However, we do see that there's additional needs that we have that are beyond the capabilities of United Way of El Paso County. So because of that, we have been able to partner with the Paso del Norte Community Foundation, where we've established a senior fund. And so individuals, foundations, corporations can now make funds directly to the senior fund, and we will be 100% in charge of how those monies get used. What I think is even more exciting for us is the fact that we are now going to be looking at our entire Sevi County area. It's no longer within El Paso. So if we want to do an initiative in Hudspeth County, if we want to do one in Brewster, if we want to do one in Doña Ana, there's no limitation to how we can make that work, because now the senior fund is not solely concentrated on El Paso County. So the fate is in our hands. It's as big as we want to make it or as small as we want to make it. So if there's any fundraising ideas, opportunities that you all have that you would like for us to partner with you on for older adults, please let us know, because we're excited to start that engagement and see our funding increase to allow us to provide more services to our clients. Okay, next slide. All right, so our next slide here is going to be regional services. And under regional services, as you can see under the 911 program, their strategy has been moving ahead in terms of having a project feasibility of the operational resilience for the 911 system designed for the public safety answering points. Regional Services has also explored the testing of 2 solutions that are not currently in use in the state program. And so Marisa works really hard to get in front, be first. As you all remember, Carbine was the first cloud-based solution 911 program in the state, and so she's continuing that effort. They're also looking at using laptops in place of desktops, and that will allow for the redundant network to occur, but also to be in place wherever the disaster may happen. You're mobile enough to be able to move to where you need to ensure that 911 services are still available. And then also, I did not mention this previously, but we do have an office now in Sierra Blanca for 911 addressing, and so it's been of great benefit. We do have Annie here. Annie, I'm not going to say your last name correctly, so I'm not going to say it and say Annie. And so she's been of great help to the program, and the residents have someone face-to-face that they can meet with. Next, we have our regional operability and interoperable communications. This has allowed us to really maximize on the funding that's been available through the congressional appropriations from Congressman Gonzalez's office, as well as funding that was made through the Homeland Security Program. There have been many jurisdictions who have been equipped with P25 radios, which are encrypted and trunking subscriber units, as well as consoles. And so this has allowed the jurisdictions to replace their end of life or upgrade their mobiles. And so this work is never done. There will never be 100% completion, I feel, because as soon as we get it done, there's a new technology available. But Marissa's working hard at this, and we've got a congressional request under Congresswoman Escobar's office for $1 million, and so we'll continue that effort. Next, we have the Regional Community Preparedness Program. And so in collaboration with the region's CERT Master Instructors, 3 CERT trainings were successfully delivered, and a CERT Basic in the city of Presidio was conducted, and 2 Train the Trainer sessions were held in El Paso and Marfa, where they were able to train a total of 20 individuals. Rebecca, would you mind going to the next slide so they can show the picture? There we go. That's some of our folks who were going through the training. These trainings have expanded, and they're offering local preparedness, and they've helped jurisdictions identify future CERT instructors as well. We can go to the next slide. Okay, so then that's good. Thank you. So then under the Criminal Justice Program, we're continuing to identify ways on how the Criminal Justice Advisory Committee can be even of more service. And so a comprehensive criminal justice gap assessment was conducted to examine the state of criminal justice services across the region. And so with that sustainability document, it's provided them a clearer understanding of what services available, the workforce capacity and funding stability, as well as guiding future planning and funding recommendations. And so I just also want to acknowledge Judge Joanna McKenzie, who's serving as our chair for that committee. So thank you. Next, we'll talk about the Homeland Security Program and Management, as well as administration. And so the First Responders Planning Group continues to review and prioritize its funding for regional homeland security and local projects. And they're also looking at providing guidance to the jurisdictions and funding applications, as well as management and administration tasks for the grant funding. And so in addition to that, they are continuing to coordinate and facilitate planning meetings throughout the region to update the THIRA and state preparedness review and implementation plans, and continuously will meet with the stakeholders to update the regional review regional communication interoperability plan. The development and the updating of the planning documents have helped jurisdictions to mitigate the loss of life, as well as property, by lessening the impact and response to quickly save lives, protect property and the environment affected by its catastrophic incidents. Next, we have the Dispute Resolution Program, which has been very busy in the last several years. This year, DRC hosted the 2025 Texas, the TAMPS Professional Development Conference. And so the conference was created and developed in partnership with UTEP's Business Intelligence and Analytics Society. And it was used to create a streamlined case management database. And so the DRC has also been highlighted on ABC's Be Mindful segment. And so we're hoping we can show that to you. So we'll show that at the end. So they've done a lot of great work. The TAMS conference, I think, I'm trying to remember how many individuals were there, Marisa? So 65 individuals came to El Paso who probably have not ever been to El Paso, and they were treated very well and quite hospitable. And so they had great reviews about the conference. And so anytime we have an opportunity to showcase West Texas, that's something that we would love to do. And second to last, we have our Law Enforcement Training Academy. And so this is the where the Academy is facilitating TCOL training online with acquisition of the Lexipol through criminal justice funds. Lexipol is an online training tool which gives officers and deputies the ability to receive online TCOL training. And Lexipol will not replace the Academy's primary role as the facilitator of regional training, but it will enhance the ability of all agencies involved to access the TCOL mandated courses. So again, we're just making sure that we're keeping up with technology. And the final program to highlight is the solid waste program. This is a program that many of you are involved with, that you are aware of, where we make those dollars as small as they may be in some circumstances go as far as they can. And so if we go to the next slide, Rebecca. Here's just some examples of some of the cleanups that were done over this fiscal year. And so these projects have been cleanup events such as tire and bulk waste disposal, where we're aiming to improve our environment, foster community pride, and promote environment stewardship. And so Regional Services has been able to provide funding for 11 regional projects through the funding from the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. And so before we go into our next item, I did want to recognize Yvette Lugo, who's our director for AAA. I apologize, I did not do that. So Yvette, would you mind standing up? Where's Yvette? There's Yvette. So Yvette manages the Area Agency on Aging. And I should say she directs, she does not manage, she manages. And then Marisa Quintanilla is our Regional Services Director. And then when we talk about me spreading myself too thin, I direct the local government's subdivision. So that's the three of us. All right. So this is just, we just want to let you know that we're keeping busy. We're doing things, right? So we want to make sure that you all are aware that we're here to serve you, that we're here to make a difference in your life. And if there's any way that we can do something better, enhance your programs, any of that, please let us know. Let any of our staff know. And right now, I would like for all the staff to stand up so you can see who's here from the Rio Grande Council of Governments. Staff, would you all stand, please? We are a small organization, but there are many of us. So thank you, staff. Yeah, so I'd like to say that we do work well. We're a good team. We collaborate, and so I'm very appreciative to be able to work in this capacity. So on to our next item on the agenda. So we're going to be giving out awards, which we think is a great time for us to do. This is great recognition. So our first item that we're going to have is our elected official of the year. All right, so our elected official of the year. We'll go to Governor Michael Silvas. And Governor Silvas, these are some of the words that many individuals describe who you are. They think you're a leader. They think you're an advocate. You're humble. You're patient. You're also authentic, and you advocate for your community. Some of you may know that several years ago, we requested approval from the board to allow us to seek additional funding for a pilot program for internet services in our remote communities. We identified that we would need about $60,000 to launch the program through Starlink. And so we wanted to just make sure that we were in line with what the board wanted us to do. And so when we talked about that and we asked for the approval, there was some pause there, but then Governor Silvas stepped in and said, well, how much is it that you all need? And we said, well, we think we need about $60,000 to get this program going. And so he said, well, I think we can make that happen. We weren't anticipating that kind of generosity, that kind of partnership with us, but it happened. And so we received the funding and we were able to provide services for over 2 years to individuals who otherwise would probably not be receiving internet services because of where they're located. And so from that point, we thought we would ask one more time. And so we asked Governor Silvas, would the tribe consider providing us a grant match to use for our Economic Development Administration program? And that was for $52,000. And so Governor Silva said, well, I'll get back to you. I'll let you know. And lo and behold, we were able to be able to receive that donation of $52,000. And so that's going to further our efforts with our planning district. And so to say that that the tribe has been generous is an understatement. Just most recently, we were about $45,000 short of the Veterans Memorial Park that we featured just right now. We did reach out to the tribe, and so they were able to fund that gap funding of $45,000 to ensure that the memorial is something that everyone is really going to be proud of in the Fabens area. And so obviously for us, that is our direct connection to Governor Silvas. But if I can, I'm just going to read a few words in terms of what his staff thinks of him and what he has done for their community, because that's oftentimes an area that we don't get to see, that we're not aware of. And so I want everybody to hear the to hear the accolades and to also recognize Governor Silvas for who he is and how he's guided the tribe. Governor Silvas has guided Isla del Sur Pueblo with vision, courage, and steady resolve through some of the most defining years in recent history. His tenure has been marked by resilience in the face of challenge, foresight and planning in the future, and a deep commitment to the well-being of his people and the broader El Paso region. When the COVID-19 pandemic emerged in 2020, Governor Silvas acted swiftly and decisively, declaring a state of emergency, establishing community checkpoints, and transforming Pueblo facilities into hubs of testing, vaccination, and care. These difficult decisions, including temporary closures of enterprises, reflected his conviction that protecting lives outweighed financial loss. Under his leadership, frontline workers were honored, facilities were modernized with health safeguards, and the Pueblo coordinated a comprehensive COVID relief plan that provided direct support to families and businesses. In the years that followed, Governor Silvas turned crisis into opportunity. In 2021, the Pueblo became one of the first in the region to distribute thousands of vaccines, while simultaneously laying the foundation for long-term resilience through economic stability plan. His administration advanced new housing, early childhood education, and health initiatives, culminating in the construction of state-of-the-art clinic, the Pueblo's most significant health investments in generations. And if you all have not seen, it's a beautiful facility. It's magnificent. It's something to be really proud of. By 2022, the Pueblo's contributions were recognized as a 2.7 billion driver of the regional economy, placing it alongside institutions like Fort Bliss and UTEP. Governor Silvas championed sovereignty, secured perpetual healthcare funding, and strengthened emergency management capacity, all while honoring the memory of leaders lost and reinforcing the community's spirit of unity. Most recently, Governor Silvas has ushered in an era of growth and innovation. In 2024, the Pueblo increased its operating budget by 13%, expanded benefits for children and veterans, launched public safety and emergency preparedness initiatives, and invested in housing, infrastructure, and entrepreneurship. He prioritized cultural preservation by supporting the Tiwa alphabet, acquiring historic archives, and creating digital spaces to safeguard Pueblo history. He also committed to the future of youth with the groundbreaking of a 41,500 square foot early learning center and after-school program facility set to open in 2026, blending STEM education with cultural tradition. Through every challenge and achievement, Governor Silvas has embodied leadership grounded in sovereignty, culture, and service. His vision has secured health, security, and economic prosperity for today while building a foundation of opportunity for generations of Tiguas to come. So on behalf of the Rio Grande Council of Governments, we are proud to recognize Governor Silvas for his extraordinary leadership, steadfast service, and lasting contributions to the Isla del Sur Pueblo and the entire region. Governor Silvas.
Well, this is a surprise. Before I say a couple words, I want to give a blessing in our traditional language. Auki hawe iule itule aki hawu turide an hawu paite an hawu paikla an hawu te u hawu te u Na'u, Awu Ta'u, Na'u, Awu Ta'u Ba'u. Don't be ahead the chow. So what that prayer means is we thank our creator, but also we thank the sun for coming out. We thank the moon for always providing us that light at night. We thank the river for providing us the water, but we also thank the four cardinal directions where we all travel. And that's a blessing because we all travel north, south, east, and west. So that's a blessing in our language. Again, thank you, Rio Grande Council of Governments for this award. I'm speechless, honestly. And that's why the girls were like, you better make that meeting. I'm like, what? I'll be there. But again, I mean, thank you. And it's truly an honor to be part of this council. Let's continue to work in concert so we can better serve our elders who we owe our past to and our kids who we owe our future to. Again, thank you. How
All right, so our next award will be for Organization of the Year, and we were just so excited with our blessings for this year that we actually have two organizations we're going to recognize. So the first one is going to be to the City of El Paso Economic and International Development Department. And so I had mentioned to you all that we've been working on our SEDS, and I didn't say too much more other than that because I wanted to save it for this section here because we really are going to be transformational in the way that we operate our program because of the work and collaboration that we have with the City of El Paso now. And so these are some of the accomplishments that Economic Development Department does on a regular basis. This is what they've been known for, such as providing binational regional impact in terms of how they are working with Ciudad Juarez and the country of Mexico. They are on top of it. I think that the presence they have now is greater than it's ever been before. We have the BOSS program, which is the one business shops. And so this is where this was born out of the pandemic, and it has flourished because of that. And as a result of that, they have also received 3 awards just last week through the International Economic Development Council for their efforts with these programs. And so what I want to talk now to you all about is the SEDS, the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy. And so we, the idea was born out of Omar Martinez, who's not here with us right now, but he's with the City of El Paso. He's a former COG employee. He said, I challenge City of El Paso to use the SEDS process in the way that it approaches economic development. Under the leadership of Karina Brascala, she agreed to that, and then she tasked Adriana Fulesio. Adriana, where are you? Raise your hand. With this effort. And so Adriana has just taken it to a next level. We're just so appreciative of all the work and effort that has been done by the City of El Paso to make this regional document so much more than what it used to be in the years past. If you go to the next slide, you can see this was our very first meeting that we had. And with this meeting, this is the first of 4 steering committee meetings that we've had. We've also had at least up to 14 subcommittee meetings. And all of these meetings, I know, why do we meet just to meet? But we really have been doing things. We've been prioritizing. We've been looking at projects that we want to undertake. And we've been doing this all with the realm of finding how we're going to approach economic development in the most comprehensive way. And all that has been done because the City of El Paso has bought into this, and they've been our champion. The Council of Governments is a small organization. We have 30 plus employees, a $9 million budget. We're not the City of El Paso. And so when they come in and they want to be a part of this and they want to be a major partner, other organizations listen. And so we're also now moving into the phase where we're also addressing this with our rural areas. And so now we have a roadmap where we can be much more effective. Peggy O'Brien is leading that effort. We just had a meeting last week. It was our first kickoff meeting. And so we're looking at having great success with that as well. But I think we're only going to be successful because of the roadmap that was brought on by the City of El Paso. And so because of that, we want to recognize the Economic and International Development Department. And so if Adriana can come up, we also have Kim Davis and we have Israel. If you all would like to come up so we can recognize you as Organization of the Year.
Good afternoon, everyone. It really is an honor for us to be here. And I share the surprise and the absolute delight of being recognized this way. The Rio Grande Council of Governments has been inspirational for years, and they've set the pace of what the region could be and what things can be like when we truly work together. So it's been an honor for us to team up, to partner this way, to be able to get excited and share the enthusiasm and the vision that the Rio CROG has for our region. We're happy to be a part of the process and to do what we can to support our partners. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you, Peggy and Annette, for dealing with all of my Wednesday morning meetings. They will one day come to an end. Thank you very, very much.
All right, so our next organization of the year will be presented by Marisa Quintanilla. Marisa wants to make her way up here.
Hi, good afternoon. Marisa Quintanilla, Regional Services Director. It is great pleasure to go ahead and recognize UTEP's program BIAS as our organization of the year. And let me just give you some backstory how we got here with UTEP and this wonderful group of students. Mike and I sat down once and we evaluated how we were doing case management for our mediation cases. And this is, of course, when we receive referrals from the courts, when we receive any referrals coming in from our community. It was tasking because we had a lot of duplications, manual duplications that poor Mike, our mediation specialist, had to do to be able to track the cases from start to finish. So obviously we were not working smarter, we were working harder. So, and also talked about how technology was there and how we can utilize that technology to really streamline the process. So Mike, unfortunately, was not able to be with us today. But through his fantastic networking skills, he discovered UTEP and he discovered a great man by the name of Dr. Calderon. Within Dr. Calderon came the students, the BIAS group, which is the Business Intelligence Analytics Society Association. And so the BIAS is a technology-focused student organization introducing UTEP students to upcoming technology, skills, trends, and career-tailored resources for future success. So we began conversations with Dr. Calderon and the group towards the latter part of calendar year 2024. And beginning of 25, the Council of Governments entered into an interlocal agreement with UTEP and BIAS to be able to go ahead and provide us with some assistance in creating this database. So within the short time, the students have created a database that allows mediation cases to seamlessly be transferred and populated into our database once we receive that mediation case, that referral. This has created efficiencies and eliminated manual and duplicate entries. As like I said, we're now working smarter versus harder, and that is our benefit. Now, in turn, the benefit that BIAS, the students, gain from this networking is that we offer networking opportunities to the students by providing them hands-on experiences, extensive growth of students' professional knowledge, skills, and profiles to give them the greatest start into their career path after graduation. With that said, I would like to recognize Dr. Calderon and the BIAS students that are here with us today to recognize them for the Organization of the Year Award. And we know that there's more to do. I know there's lots more to do. And if we talk to Dr. Calderon, and the path is just greatness, greatness, greatness. So we're excited to join you, Dr. Calderon, and your students once again this semester and the spring semester to go ahead and make this such a success for Mike and the DRC program. So Dr. Calderon and students, can you please come up?
So thank you so much. This has been an amazing opportunity for the students to learn hands-on. And what better way to tell you about it? So that one of them to thank you and tell you quickly about what we have done so far.
Good afternoon, guys. My name is Salvador Blancas. I'm Vice President of BIAS, and working with BIAS and the El Paso Dispute Resolution Center has been an incredible opportunity. I'm only a sophomore, and being able to have that hands-on experience with something that's so serious and being trusted with that level of responsibility and like our capacity to be able to handle that has been a really moving experience for me. I think it's inspired me to do a lot. And I mean, there's really not a better group of people that we could do this with. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to Marisa and Mike for taking this opportunity with us. Thank you to Dr. Villas Calderon for trusting us with this. And thank you to everyone involved in the organization that's supported us through this project.
And before I turn the mic over to our president, President Olguin, I do want to quickly say that we're running short on time, so we'll send you a link to the El Paso Dispute Resolution Center. They were featured in the Be Mindful segment of KBIA, so it just lets you know a little bit more about mediation and how it works. So we're really proud of that. And then secondly, I completely I overlooked recognizing our finance division, because without having a good finance division, an organization is worthless, right? So you want to make sure that you have all your processes in place, that you have a clean audit, that your grant funding agencies are satisfied with your reporting. And so we're able to say that we do those things because of our finance director and through her vision and her leadership with Judy Cisneros. So thank you, Judy. We appreciate it. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Marisa, and congratulations once again to all of our honorees. So we are now ready to get to the business portion of the meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Annette, we do have quorum? We do, great. So we're going to call the meeting to order. So if everyone can please refer to your program, you'll see the agenda in the program. That way you can follow along as we go through this business portion of the meeting. Our first item that's up is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held on September 14th, 2024. So if everyone can look in their program, and I'll give you just a couple of seconds to look through the minutes. Okay, wonderful. We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye. Great, item passes. Now, the next item on the agenda is our adoption of our fiscal year 2026 work program and annual budget. And that presentation will be made by Annette Gutierrez.
Okay, and so in your work program and annual budget on page 35, you can see our agency recap. What we have for you today seeking approval is a budget that is comprised of our revenue of $9,590,773. Our expenditures are at $9,659,816. This does reflect an excess of expenditures over revenues of $69,043. So what this does mean is that at this moment in time, we are looking at using up to $69,000 of our fund balance to make our budget whole. We are anticipating that there will be some additional funding that will be available to us in this coming year within the next 2 quarters. And so when we do our amendment, we do project that we'll be making a revision to that, an amendment. So our goal and anticipation is that we will not be using any of our fund balance. But as of right now, this is how we're asking for board approval for the budget for FY26.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Nope. Item passes. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next item on the agenda is the election of new officers. And for this item, I'm going to ask City Representative Art Fierro to please come up to the mic.
Before we start, please a round of applause for the leadership of our chairwoman. Thank you so much. Now, I have the script here that Annette, I'm sorry, Ms. Martinez, the executive director, gave to me, and it's a motion to commission a bronze statue of her to be placed at the airport. Thank you, thank you. Wherever Ms. Martinez is, thank you. Thank you so much. The nominee, this is the only time that Annette lets me speak, so thank you all for listening. And it comes as desserts being served, perfect timing. The nominating committee, before the general membership meeting, and I, serving as the chair of the committee, make the following nominations. President, Judge Jeff Davis, the county, Jeff Davis County, Judge Curtis Evans. Well, I kept looking at Lou. Is Lou going to be the assistant? The first vice president, my colleague, Ms. Lamont, City Council District 7. She must be on vacation. Second vice president from the town of Horizon, the mayor, Anthony Renteria. Do I hear a motion? Second? Okay, thank you. Before we go on to item 10, I'd like to ask the members of the nominating committee, they would please stand up for a round of applause. I know the members are here someplace. Well, Mayor, please. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay, here are I'd like to make the following nominations from the committee, representing for the members of the cities other than the city of El Paso within El Paso County from the city of San Isidro, Mayor Jesus Chacon. Villegas. At least I didn't call you Martinez. For the representative for member cities within the 5 rural counties from the city of Marfa, Mayor Manny Baeza. Where's it, Mayor? Thank you. For the second representative for member cities within the 5 rural counties from the town of Valentine, Mayor Summer Webb. Mayor. I'd like to entertain a motion. Second? So moved. Congratulations. I would have butchered him anyway.
All right, well, that is the business that we had to conduct today. So I think the next step is to actually present the gavel to our new president, Judge Evans. If you want to make your way up front, I'll make the official presentation.
But before we do, we just want to make sure we acknowledge Commissioner Olvin. Collectible. So you don't have to have another plaque, okay? So no, just wanted to say thank you to Commissioner Holguin through her leadership for this this past fiscal year. It's been really great to work with Commissioner Holguin. We were able to travel to DC. I think we've made some really great connections. You can see how passionate she is about her community and how she inspires everyone else to do the same. And so we are just so thankful for you to be here with us this past fiscal year, and we really appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh. Well, it has been truly an honor for me to serve as the president of the Rio Grande Council of Governments this past year. Annette always jokes that the staff is small but mighty, and they really, really are. It's incredible how much they accomplish for our region, and not just here in El Paso, but the entire region. So I want to thank Annette. I want to thank Marisa, Judy, Yvette, Julissa, all of you, all of the staff of the Rio Grande Council of Governments. You are an asset to our region. And it's amazing to me to see how much you accomplish with the little that you have. So I want to thank you for your dedication and your commitment to our community. And it's been an absolute honor for me to work with all of you. I just can't say enough about our staff. So if we could please give them all one more round of applause. Okay, so now I believe I will be turning over our symbolic gesture. I'll be turning over the gavel.
Well, we are at the end of our meeting, and I will not keep you, but I do want to say and concur with Ms. Holguin, Commissioner Holguin, that the staff of the Rio Grande Council of Governments is one of the best that I've ever worked with. And we're so fortunate to have such strong leadership in our council. Annette, Marissa, I mean, guys, I'm going to leave somebody out, but there's everyone here, and I am grateful to be and honored to be here in this position as president and be able to work with these folks. It's an honor. And thank you all. Oh, next item of business is to adjourn our meeting. Second, we are adjourned. Thank you.